Don't go nowhere. Let me give you one. My lady. The sweetest one. I wanna touch you, baby. You're my lady, and I love you, girl. Ooh. Don't you get nowhere. I love you, I need you, I want you, babe.
Hello there everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I am the Lady of the Throne, where God dwells within me as me, and I'm here to talk to you guys about astrology. All right, this is going to be what is coming up. What is the astrological forecast for all 12 zodiac signs? For those of you who are new to my channel, or for those of you who are new to spirituality, should I say, some of you may know this, but some people are new to spirituality and that's understanding. You have to understand that astrological zodiac signs can tell you almost everything that there is to know about events in life as well as personalities. And it is something that had become dumbed down over time as just like something really fun to do. However, we all know that there's so much truth to it. So being that this is the month of June, where there is going to be a whole lot of truth and authenticity coming through the cosmos, that means that a lot of people are going to be shifting into the wonderful world of universal consciousness, awareness, and expansion. So being that this is going to be such a remarkable shift that's happening for a lot of people, you can blame it on the sign of Gemini. Gemini is the reason why. Reason why I say that is because there is a new moon in the sign of Gemini on June 6th. Anytime there is a new moon in Gemini, this is positive for communications. It is also about deep thinking, creative self-expression, because Gemini is all about communication. So there's going to be opportunities to socialize with like-minded people, as well as opportunities for newbies to spirituality to hear a lot of things and to learn a lot more about spirituality and how that works together with astrology, and how this all ties into religion, and how all of that makes sense in the real world. So a lot of people are getting more invested, more involved, and more of an understanding of how things work. And it's going to be widely accepted as something that is not a bad thing, but something that is actually a lot of truth involved. So this is what the new moon in Gemini is going to do. Now, on the 21st, or around the 21st of June, there is a full moon, and this one is in the sign of Capricorn. Okay, now that's really interesting because we go from Gemini to Capricorn, way left, right? We go into this air energy, a lot of communication coming through, and then we go right into the sign of Capricorn, which is that earth energy, and that brings in a strong sense of self-empowerment, reaching milestones, okay? Making some type of achievement on a personal level, okay? And this has a lot to do with entrepreneurship for some of you guys who are wanting to go into the fields of entrepreneurship or business. This is a good prospect for that, if you guys are, thinking in that way. Also, this full moon is happening at the start of summer, okay? So the start of summer is on the 20th, and then you have that full moon coming right in, right at the beginning of summer. So the moon is making a big introduction around this time. What the moon is going to be doing here is making a universal milestone or a huge leap into a whole other intuitive cosmic forecast, all on its own. And what this means is that the moon takes the lead as boss, okay? Which means that there's a sense of leadership that is going to be coming through to a lot of people, all right? This sense of leadership and understanding that the moon does have an authoritative role in the world, being that it is a part of God's dualistic light platforms, or should I say light creations. So we have the sun and we have the moon, right? But this is when the moon takes the rightful place as, okay, I'm a big boss here, because it's not just the sun, it's the moon too. So what happens with that type of dynamic, and this is all metaphors, right? But it's also real. And what this means is that as this energy works through human beings, you guys may come into a more enlightened mindset about your role in society around this time, and who you want to be, what you have accomplished, and what you want to do moving forward. This month of June is actually positive. To say that it is in the summer month, it is very, very positive. I mean, June's always in the summertime, right? But what I mean is these two specific moons are happening at the start of summer, which means that that kind of fire and that kind of light is going to be born in a lot of people. A lot of individuals are going to awaken to a new passion like no other for whatever dreams or aspirations that they may have. And a lot of people will be saying a lot of things around that new moon in Gemini around the 6th of June. So pay attention to that energy as well. It's also going to be Father's Day on the 16th of June. And happy Father's Day to all of the fathers. And it's also Juneteenth happening on June 19th. And so Juneteenth is a time to celebrate as well. That was a big milestone, right? So all of these events are piling up on each other, but the good thing about it is that it is going to bring out some positive working relations with other people, right? Positively, very, very positive. All right, so let's go ahead and get into hello, Sagittarius. It is your reading for June 2024. General love, life, and spirituality guidance. And this is for all Sagittarians, male or female. This is your general forecast for next month. Keep in mind that it is for next month. So be cool and wait, all right? The messages probably won't hit you guys or play out until you just go through the month. That's the way it goes. You naturally live your life. And then you come back later and you check to hear the messages and see how it resonated in your life. All right. So let's go ahead and get started with your prophetic messages. So this is also intuitive. Now, Sagittarius in June, this is going to be your mental mantra for the whole month. I promise. It's gonna play out, and you're gonna know why. All right. Here it is. We are not the same. We are not the same. Listen, there is this major theme happening in June where you guys are going to be feeling like a lot of people are moving in directions that you just can't seem to find the heart to do certain things that certain people do. you just can't find the dirt, grit, and grime inside of yourself to get that low and that disgusting with people, how you are experiencing it around you from a lot of people. This can be anything from, I'm going to use something as an example. Let's say you guys are let's just say you're a news reporter. I'm going to use this as an example. And like, you're a new news reporter. And now you're being exposed to all this new stuff. But they just throw you in there. They just leave you. And they're like, guess what your first assignment is? And you're like already nervous because you don't want to do something traumatic, right? But that's how you get thrown to the wolves, to get your experience. And also because maybe they just have a lot of confidence in you that you're really great at it. Well, you get exposed to all kinds of things that you probably never have seen before. It's that kind of month for you guys where it's like you just can't believe the things that people could do or would do in situations. It's like this. Your people around you, whether it's your friends, your family, your colleagues, your associates, strangers, the news, like whatever it is, it's just like mind-boggling, because I think a lot of you guys are trying to understand, how could people be so cruel, or maybe how could people be so low or so disrespectful or so idiotic, psychotic. Like I don't know, I'm just calling out different things, but whatever it is, you're like, we're not the same. I'm not like these people. I am not like these people. Get me out of here. It's like, it's just like you're just tired of being in the same place or in the same situation or around certain people, or tired of seeing certain things. And it's like no matter what others do or what people believe in, you're choosing different, and you mean it. You're standing firm on your morals, your traditions, your values, and as well as like how to be an actual human being, having a human experience and worship God. Like, I feel like a lot of you guys are just like, well, that wasn't the golden rule when you said that to so and so. I think you're really also telling people like it is. Like, yeah, well, that wasn't exactly what God meant when he said you should love your brother and your sister. Like, I don't feel like you're really showing up that way to this person or to these people or whatever, like, it's just like, I think you guys are doing this to like a number of people. You're feeling like this toward multiple people. It's not just one targeted individual that you feel like you are pushing away from. I think you're pushing away from like a number of people at one time, because you're just like, yeah, you guys walk that way, but I'm gonna walk that way. It's like people are choosing a wide path and you're choosing a narrow path. It's like you're just like, I'm not gonna do this, because my God said when you walk a narrow path, you're wiser. And that's what I'm going to stick to no matter what is going on. You guys are fascinating. Very, very fascinating. Because you are choosing what is right over anything. You're choosing what is right. And you do have a keen ability about yourself where you don't have to stick with the status quo. You can be an individual and be a part of something at the same time and not be affected. You're really good about not allowing peer pressure, not allowing societal pressure. Even if you're like 60, 70, 80 years old, you may still have peer pressure. Just because Mr. Jimmy is off to that bar every night sneaking around with Barbara, it doesn't mean that you, Mr. Ed, can go out and sneak around with Miss Darlene. It's just like, No, I'm all for that. I'm not doing it. Y'all can go around there and hang around with your beers and stuff. I'm not on that. I'm just not. And I think you're choosing a different, a different way of life. And you're like, you know what, Miss Darlene, I'll see her in the morning for coffee. I'm over it. So it's just like, I mean, you gotta laugh. Like in a world that's set up like this, where there's just so many bad things going on right now, and people judging and have no place to judge anyone. You have to laugh. You have to find those moments. And I think that there is something very special and unique about a lot of you guys, because you're able to see things from a different viewpoint. You have a different opinion, or maybe even a different interest that seem to be strange to other people, or people are trying to oppose your interests or how you feel. But you're fine with that, because people are not you and you are not people. Growing up, and you're growing out of all of this, you're showing up as very brave and rebellious at heart. You know that in June, you're just not for the group tactics anymore. You're over that. You're just like, you know what? I don't even care. I don't care about being a part of anything if it means that it breaks my integrity. I don't want to be a part of anything anymore that's going to constantly show signs of hatred toward others, or envy toward others, or greed, or discontent, or rage, or outrage, or I just don't want to be a part of that. Like, it's something about your soul or your heart that is like, I can't do this to this specific person, or I can't do this to myself, or I can't do this to my kids, or I can't do this to my neighbors, or I can't do this to my teacher, or I can't do this to my friends. It's just something that you're like, no, y'all can do this, but I'm not doing this. If they want to ride around and get it, you're like, no, I'm not doing it. My life is valuable. My time is valuable. My kids I need to feed. It's just like, you're just like, no. And it's for some of you, you could be like, at the end of the day, I want to go to heaven. At the end of the day, I want to live a beautiful life down here. Like, I want to do what God is saying to do. At the end of the day, I'm going to tune everything else out. So I think that this is coming from the fact that your intuition is very heightened in June. Intuitively, you already know better. Your intuition already knows the better way, the better choice, the better route. Because in your mind, you're like, you know what? I have so much wisdom, and I'm telling you, it's something about you guys being able to see things that the majority does not see in a situation. But the way a Sagittarius rolls sometimes, especially when it comes to group environments, friendship circles, family environments, kids and things like that, whatever area is hitting for you guys in June, the way you deal with it, because you guys, to say you're a fire sign, you're the more relaxed fire signs to be. I mean, everybody might not feel how I feel. Everybody may not feel like that about a Sagittarius, but I have, all the ones I've come across, they've been more like chill. But nobody's more chill probably than the Leos out of all the fire signs. But that's a different story. I'm gonna just shut up, because everyone's gonna have a different opinion of fire signs when it comes to that. But in my opinion, you guys are really like easygoing. Let's just say that, easygoing. So a lot of things you are gonna be easygoing about, but not taking away from the fact that you can see the truth, you hear the truth, and so you will speak the truth. It's like, you know better. You know to follow the right thing. You know this. And therefore, that's going to be you letting your actions and your words and your thoughts guide you. And so that's going to be the way that you counteract what's going on with other people. That's going to be your way to counteract that. your intuition is already going to show you and let you know the truth from it's like this, how to not ruin your life. Like, you know what I mean? It's like if all your friends call you on a Saturday or whatever, and they're all like, hey, what's up? We're all going to go cheat on our mates. You coming? Of course they're not going to say that. Of course it's going to be a disguise, right? It's going to be something like, I'm just using this as an example. This is not a part of a prediction. This is just an example. But what if there's like a group of your friends and they call you one Saturday night and they're like, hey, they're asking you, hey, do you want to come with us? We're going to go and check out this new, it's always a checkout. We're going to go and check out this new restaurant downtown. I know a chick, I met her through a friend, and she told us that they've got this really great food, and you've been talking about this, you've been saying that you want this. You down? Like, we're all going to go check this out. You coming or not? And you're like, you know what? Yeah, I think I deserve that. But somehow, some way, your intuition is able to see through it. And you're like, ooh, that's not about the restaurant. Put the pieces together. And then your mind starts to put everything together. And you're like, hold on. First, let's start with the who called me. The person that called me was Josh or was Danielle or whatever. Like this person called. Okay, let me think about it. This person is notoriously cheating on their person right now. Then you'll be like, okay, let me think about the details. I met a female, and this is a man asking me this, and I met a female through a friend. But your friend, like Josh, never said anything about his partner to you on the phone. Like, oh, and, she's coming too. Never said anything. So I think you guys are going to quickly put pieces together, and you're going to read in between the lines when somebody, when there's an influence of, from like a group of people trying to get you to do something. I think you'll be able to quickly read in between the lines and be like, oh, this is a cheating session that I'm about to engage in. This is like if it's not that, then this is like a temptation that I'm about to walk into. Like, oh, that's what it is. It's a whole setup. It's a temptation thing. It's not even about the food. It's about getting you to get a little loose and meet someone, possibly, to join your friends on some crazy escapade that they put together in their minds because they're bored. It's just avoiding stuff. Just avoiding stuff, basically. All right. And that's all I have, Saggies. Thank you. God bless.